I will send you a topic.
Sure, go ahead. Just a sec. Taking a quick look. Okay, here's how I'd frame it. It's a meaningful shift on paper. Shorter default retention, case codes, mandatory audits. But the carve-outs matter. If evidence mode is easy to invoke and not independently reviewable, then the safeguard is basically optional. So, what I'd say is real reform is when override rules are narrow, logged, and enforced, not just announced. A simple close could be the reform is real, the accountability is still unproven.
I remember we once talking about this company before, and this company was the server for the monitor the traffic. Does this right?
Let me double check. Yeah, more or less, yeah. Flock provides those license plate reader cameras and a cloud platform that lets law enforcement search where vehicles have been.
Oh yeah, so it is the get this vertical data from the park camera.
Checking. Right, so small correction. It's not vertical data, it's vehicle data. And it's not really general public cameras, it's license plate reader cameras that feed into Flock's system. So the system lets law enforcement search where vehicles have been.
Sorry, can you teach me what is the license plate reader cameras?
Yeah, a license plate reader camera is basically a camera that automatically takes pictures or video of cars. Then the software reads the license plate number and turns it into searchable text. So the camera also logs the time and GPS location too. So instead of just watching traffic flow, it creates a database of where and when a car was spotted.
Oh, so this system is developing for any the girls. We do you think about?
Let me check. I think you mean goals. Yes, it's often developed and justified for public safety goals, like finding stolen cars or serious crimes. But the concern is that without strict limits and oversight, it can turn into broad movement tracking of everyday people. So the core question isn't just what the tech was built for, but who controls it, how it's used, and who checks for abuse.
So this topic is that we discussing the data security or something.
Exactly. It's about data security and data governance. Who can access it, for what reason, for how long, and with what oversight. The surveillance part is about how a security tool can quietly become a tracking system if the guardrails are weak.
Surveillance, what does it mean?
Surveillance means watching people or collecting information about what they do, where they go, or who they interact with. That could be by cameras, by tracking systems, or by monitoring data. In simple terms, it's keeping an eye on people, often at scale.
So this news is that we know AI AI 嵌入 the policy system. What? 我不知道怎么说。
Let me check. Right. So you could say it like this. This news shows that AI can be built into policing systems, not just consumer apps. And that raises questions about data control, oversight, and accountability. It is not just data security. It is about preventing misuse too.
Okay, we move to the next topic.
Sure. What's the next topic? One moment while I check that. So this is about AI hype meeting physical limits. Big numbers get announced, but water permits, power, and financing decide what actually runs. For your podcast, a clean angle is the next AI bottleneck. Might not be chips, it might be water and power. Promised capacity is not the same as operational.
But if the data center with the water share be the water demand was be huge. So do you think about the difficult is coming from the
One moment. Yeah, the difficulty is cooling. GPUs create loads of heat, and one common way to remove that heat is evaporative cooling, which uses water. In a dry place, that makes peak water demand a real choke point. So it's not that data drinks water, it's that cooling the machines does.
so this is a danger. Us to the news. Do you think about the topic is what is the topic from this news?
Checking. Yes. It's about AI growth hitting hard physical limits like water and power. A clean title could be The AI Race Meets Water and Power Reality. It's a bottleneck story, not a tech magic story.
This the problem was also for the every country want to develop the AI capability, right? Not only in China.
Right. Any country that wants serious AI capability hits physical constraints: power, cooling, grid, permits, money. What changes is which bottleneck hits first. So, yeah, the theme is global. AI capacity is also energy capacity. If you like, I can help you script a short podcast segment around that.
I know the US is the power restricts because their fundamental would be older than the China, but their chips was more advanced than China. So, do you think about the power or the which more important?
One moment. Your framing is partly right, but I refine it. It's not just that the US grid is old, the issue is connecting new power fast enough. Permits, transmission, transformer delays. For China, the tighter bottleneck is still advanced chips. So a neat line for your podcast could be: chips set the ceiling, power sets the scale. You need both. The US edge is chips. The near-term constraint is power.
Yes, constraint is power. So, in the short term, this question was hardly to solve.
One second. Yeah, I would change it to this. In the short term, it's not just chips versus power, it's which bottleneck each country can fix faster. For the US, chips are the strength, but power hookups are slow. For China, the infrastructure push is strong, but advanced chips are the limit. So the short term story is about different fixes, not one race. A simple way to put it: the US needs to turn chip strength into usable compute. China needs to turn build strength into advanced compute.
Okay, we move to the next topic.
Sure, what's next? One moment. So this one is about agentic capability in cybersecurity, but we should keep it high level. The key is not AI can hack everything. It's that AI can now help chain complex technical steps, but it's brittle, expensive, and human expertise is still essential. My take: this is a governance story more than a gadget story.
Gadget story, what does it mean?
A gadget story is when people focus on the device itself, the Fire HD, as if the device is the nameplate. But here, the bigger story is governance: how we set rules, access, and safeguards around these capabilities.
Yes. So, we need to let the model developing process more transparent and under the audit or under the monitoring by governments.
Checking? Yes, that direction makes sense. You could say we need more transparency around model development, independent audits, and regulatory oversight for high-risk capabilities. Not necessarily every detail made public, but clear accountability and checks.
Okay, thank you for joining today's podcast.